No is a complete sentence, right? So you don't have to feel guilty about saying no.
There are some people on this earth that they are just naturally takers. Lately, I have been struggling with giving to myself, that my cup ran empty.
If I'm not good for myself, how can I be good for anybody else? I would say work on self-care and do it one step at a time. When your mama says something,
it was golden.
You did it. So one day she got me all the way together and was like, well, mama, why you buy the bikes for? Why you buying me a bike then? If I can't go outside to ride the bike, why you buying me a bike?
Hey. Welcome to the Skittles and Clink show. I'm Skittles.
And I'm Clink. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about family and parenting, these new age kids when you are old school mama.
That part.
But before we get started, we want to say thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thanks to everyone who sent us emails, who sent us messages. We literally went through every email personally and read it, every message and read it. And so today, before we get started, we do want to read one of the emails from one of our supporters. And hopefully...
Yeah, we got an email. One of our supporters. This email, when we read through all of them, I think this one stood out to us the most.
Yeah.
It really touched us, and we felt like it was definitely something that fit right in with this episode for us. So this is from an anonymous emailer, and it says, "Hey there, I've been struggling with some things recently that I feel like your podcast could possibly help me with. I became a mother at 15, took my motherly duties very serious to where I forced myself to believe as a mother, my job is to give. Never did I give myself grace to understand that giving should have limits. So with being a giver, I gave and still give to everyone. Lately, I have been struggling with giving to myself. I've always been a resource to my family, friends, and strangers, just everyone, that my cup ran empty. I can't find anything to give myself. I have been going to church constantly for about 2 months now, yet I feel like I'm not worthy of receiving. I recently withdrew myself from everyone without saying anything, and it hurt that nobody noticed. Nobody even noticed or checked in on me. To me, that became my voice in my head telling me that I'm not worthy of receiving. So I guess my actual question is, how do you limit giving your all to everyone so you can have something for yourself without, capitalize, our anonymous email wrote, without capitalize, feeling guilty or bad about saying no? And when I say giving, it can be physical, mental, support, just in general. I hope this makes sense. Thank you." Ooh, that was very heartfelt. This email really touched us. And we want to say first and foremost to the anonymous emailer, thank you for sending us this question. Thank you for trusting us to answer this question. LaJava, how would you answer this?
Well, I think I'll start with saying, let's just say no is a complete sentence, right? So you don't have to feel guilty about saying no. Just say no. It's a complete sentence. When it comes to, pouring back into yourself, I would say, I'm one that wears many hats, right? And so when you think about the different roles that we have as moms, I'm a wife, I'm a first lady, I'm a leader in my job, and I'm responsible for a team. So there's so much that I have going on. I think I made a decision about 2 years ago that I was going to work on self-care.
I remember that.
Guilt-free self-care, where I started with getting my nails done.
Oh, I want to say you started being more consistent. Keeping up on your nails.
With getting my nails done.
I agree with that.
Right. And it wasn't like, oh, I got to go get a fill every 2 weeks, but it was just like,
once a month, actually. Yeah.
Once a month, I'm going to go get my nails done and I'm not going to feel bad about it. And that's something that I like to do. And I did it.
Because there was a bit of a financial sacrifice that we had talked about too. Being like, I could put this money somewhere else.
Right.
But it was like once a month. I'm going to try to do it once a month. I remember that. Yeah.
And then that went into getting a membership at the
massage place.
The massage place. So I do that too.
Yeah.
Once a month. Right. And these are my self-care days.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If I'm not pouring into me, who else is?
Yeah.
Who else is? And if I'm not good for myself, how can I be good for anybody else? So to that anonymous supporter, I would say work on self-care and do it one step at a time. It's not something that you have to do. Maybe you're not, doing something every weekend, but maybe you can just take that one day a weekend. 1 weekend a month.
1 weekend a month.
1 day out of that weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And use that day to just pour into you.
Yeah.
And do something that you like. Do something that makes you feel good. So that's what I would suggest. Because I get it, right? I get, pouring into everybody else, especially when you have kids and you have family and you're that dependable person for everybody.
Yeah. Depends on you.
They depend on you. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say I can definitely relate because also she started very young, right? She started having a responsibility of someone depending on her at such a young age. And that was also my journey. It was like at 17, someone was looking to me to make it happen for them, right?
Right.
So I think that alone speaks to how long, I don't know how old our anonymous emailer is, but that could speak to how long she's been on this journey.
Yeah.
Of giving, right? Also, we don't know how many children she have. Like you find yourself wearing so many different hats for so many different people. Like you said, you have work, you have the responsibility of being a mother. And I think too, one thing I will say about being a mother who also a teenage mom, you grow up really fast. So people start to see that you are very responsible. And then at such a young age, sometimes people put more on you. There's that expectation of, oh, she got it.
Yeah.
And so I want to speak to the part where nobody even notices that you need help, right? Or that you're lacking or that you're depleted because, oh, she's got it. She's always had it. You've always taken care of it. That's what, she got it. She's been doing it. She's a strong mother. She's a good mother. But nobody sees past that, right? Like, and it's hard as mothers. We want to look strong. And I think there's that stigma too. You're a young mom. You don't want to let your kids down. Then you start to be like, you don't want to depend on nobody. You don't want to ask for help because you may feel like they're already judging you because you started so young. It's that thing I remember I used to hear, well, you made this choice. And it was like, no, I didn't really make this choice. I made a bad decision that landed me in this space, but I didn't say I wanted to have a baby at 17, you know what I mean? But I knew what it took. Now, let's not neglect that. I definitely knew what it took. But I just think you end up taking on this responsibility at such a young age that sometimes we exhaust ourselves so quickly. And then I think you're giving to everybody and everybody's asking for stuff. And I'm going to also say this too. I had to learn that, am I tired because I'm saying yes to the wrong things? Maybe there are some things that you need to say no to. And no is a sentence all in itself. And there is so much power in no. And I'm speaking from a guilty heart because there are times I have a hard time with saying no. I feel like I'm obligated to explain my no. And I've barely gotten to the point at this age where it's just no with no explanation. No explanation.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the tiredness could be we're exhausted because we're putting too much on ourselves.
I like how you said that. I like how you said, make sure that you're saying yes to the right people or yes to the right cause. I will go a step further and say, when you say yes, let your yes be your best yes.
Yeah.
And if it's not your best yes,
say no. Say no. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because if I find myself saying yes to something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say yes to it.
Yeah.
But
you complain about it.
I'm complaining.
You complain about it.
Because I don't really want to do it.
But you feel obligated to.
Yeah.
So you say yes, but then you hear it. Somebody gonna hear it.
Yes.
So like we're gonna say yes, but then we're gonna be grouchy when we come to our kids.
Or grouchy when you come to, I don't have a husband, but grouchy maybe when it comes to your husband.
Yeah.
Or grouchy when it comes to your co-workers.
Anybody.
You know, because you didn't really want to say
yes.
Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like, just say no. Mm-hmm. Say no and let your no be enough.
Right.
Let it be enough. And remember that. And one thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to move on, because this email really touched my heart when we was reading. I think it really tugged on both our heartstrings, because we can relate.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is I had to learn at kind of a later age in life. There are some people on this earth that they are just naturally takers. And baby, as long as you give it,
they take it.
They will take.
They are taken.
They will take. And I don't even think they realize it.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have the capacity to even notice you, or notice that you're depleted, or notice that you may need help, because that's just who they are.
Yeah.
So it's your responsibility to take care of you. On the airplane, I love to fly. I love a trip. So if anybody wants me to come anywhere, I love a good trip. But anyway, one thing I will say that I've learned from so many times of flying, they always say, put your mask on first.
That's right. Secure yours.
Yes. So mother, I'll tell you, mother who wrote this email, take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself first. That's the best advice I can give you. And go to No Therapy 101. It's a whole therapy in saying no.
It is. It is. And it's a complete sentence. No. Period.
Yes.
Snap.
That part. Okay. That was a good question. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Y'all keep sending your questions.
Yes, please do. We enjoy the interaction.
Yes, we love to read them.
Yes.
And then see how we can to answer.
We don't know everything, but we'll figure it out together.
And for those of you who want to chime in the comments. Yes. What do you think? What are some of your self-care days? What do they look like?
Yeah, tell us what you do for self-care. Yeah. You know, do you massage? Do you take a weekend? We would love for you. Join our comments. Tell us what you like. Do you do staycation?
Yes.
Do you take yourself to nice dinners? I'm trying to. One of the things I will say, I'm trying to learn to go to dinner by myself. Like, just have me time.
Yeah, go ahead on to dinner by yourself, girl.
Why am I calling you?
Oh.
Just kidding.
Self-care.
Okay. Anyways, moving right along.
So next we're going to go. So we're talking today about parenting,
these new
and family. Yes, and these new age kids. They're a little different than the way we came up.
A lot.
So my kids are teenagers. They are 17, 16, and 13. And they are parented a lot different than the way I was parented.
Oh, yeah.
Those of you who are in my age group, and I ain't going to say that age group, but I'm just going to say those of you who are in our age group.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. When your mama said something,
it was golden.
You did it. You did it. Yeah, if she said get in there and wash them dishes, if she said no, because it was a complete sentence back then.
Yes. They didn't have to explain.
They have to explain. I wish I would have said, but why?
Yeah.
I wish I would have said, can you explain a little bit more, right?
They did. My mother was not, Nancy was not explaining nothing.
No, yeah, what neither. Put yourself under a table. But anyway,
okay.
but these kids these days are different, right? They are like the explain to me generation, make it make sense generation.
Yeah. Question,
mama, why? And so sometimes I be like, finding myself explaining. But let me tell you, my 13-year-old, she got me all the way together, because then I had to start figuring it out. Like, y'all gonna hear me talk a lot about my 13-year-old. But she got me all the way together, because we bought bikes one year for Christmas. And actually, we bought bikes a couple of years. Y'all know that story. Like, if you got a bike for Christmas, it was on and popping, right? But we had bought bikes one year for Christmas for the kids, and every day my daughter would be like, Mom, can I go outside and ride my bike? And I'm that mom that, no, you ain't going outside unless I'm going out there with you because anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I would be like, no, you can't go outside. No, you can't go outside. So one day she got me all the way together and was like, well, Mama, what you buy the bikes for? Why you buying me a bike then? If I can't go outside to ride the bike, why are you buying me a bike? And I'm like, yeah, she right. She right. Why buy the bike if I'm telling her, no, you can't go to. And that made so much sense. But I'm still in my era, like, Mama, I said no. And no means no, right? You know, because it's a complete sentence, right?
Yeah.
And when my mama said no, that's what it meant. But
we're not no question.
So now, like, they want to know the why.
That's different.
They want to know, they want to have an explanation.
Definitely.
Like, even when I'm talking to my kids about spiritual things, about the word of God, it's like they're inquisitive. They want to know more. They want to have a greater understanding. Now, the scripture does tell us, and all that get an understanding. So I love that for them. But being a mama, sometimes it could be hard because sometimes I just want to say no and I don't want to have to explain. Right? What about you?
I think for me, it's so funny because, okay, it's a little different. So the question, how has parenting been different from when I was a parent? So I will say for me, that question is such an amazing question because when I was parented, I was parented in a single parent home.
Right.
But when Johnny was alive, my kids grew up in a 2-parent home.
Yes.
And so I wasn't hip to that thing where them kids would be like, ask me, I get them the answer they don't like.
Yes.
So they go ask Daddy. Okay. Daddy get them the answer they do like.
Right.
And then
you
Daddy's answer was going.
Yeah. Now you watching them out there riding the bike.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, it's so amazing because me and Johnny, we had so much in common.
Yes.
We both were not raised in 2-parent homes, but we had amazing, amazing, strong mothers. So when they said no, it was it.
That's what it was.
But then now we saw our kids doing this thing that we weren't quite used to. We was like, wait a minute, did they just ask you?
Right.
And so him and I had to get on one accord.
Get on the same page.
Like church had to get on one accord.
Get on one accord.
So that way these kids wouldn't be playing that.
Man, that's what they was doing.
Girl, they was smart at it. And then once we got hip to the game, we got better at that. Yeah. But I think for us, that was the first shocker. And you know, I have a daughter. And she was definitely a daddy's girl. So she knew how to.
Yeah.
And girl, that was Johnny Hart. So
yeah.
Just be like, how they vision that I do it? And I'm like, we crumbling in front of the kids. Right. Like, we need to hold this together in front
of us. Give us a second. Right there.
But she knew how to even like go to daddy first. You know what I mean?
Because
she's a daddy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that parenting definitely was different for me versus for my kid.
Yeah.
I think like when my mother said no, we only had one answer.
That it was no.
Want nobody to run to down. What was you going to run to? Nancy said no.
Go sit down. And go sit down.
That part. It was funny.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. I never thought about being raised in a single parent household and then having both parents in the house, what those challenges would be.
Yeah.
Because again, when my mama said no, that's what the answer was. But then when you have, 2-parent household, you all have to come in agreement and then you communicate that to the kids.
And the kids learn quickly if you is or ain't in agreement.
And they see when you're not in agreement.
Yes, they know how to play on it.
They know how to play on it. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
So is there a difference in the way that you love each kid?
That's a hard question, but we love them all the same.
Yes, we do.
Now, what I do believe that you love each child differently according to their needs. I think that, I will say, I often heard my kids say, you favor this particular kid more than you. And you, mama, you a Fig Newton with that one. But you was a ginger snap with me.
Wait. What is a Fig Newton and a ginger snap?
A Fig Newton is a cookie.
Oh, so you can crumble.
And a ginger snap
is hard.
It's hard.
Oh.
That was their example.
Okay.
Of mama.
Yeah.
That was like, well, Josh, you just a Fig Newton. Anything he said,
you didn't say no name drop.
But they be like, with us, you wasn't, you wasn't drinking like that.
Y'all know, y'all got them kids. Y'all got those kids.
The need was different. The need was different, you know. And then I think too, Johnny passed when Josh was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like things shifted.
Yeah.
I had to teach Johnny to drive. I had to teach Joshua to drive.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to have to teach Josh to drive. Me and Johnny had arrangement. Agreement.
Yes.
And the agreements were I was going to teach Johnny to drive. He was going to teach Josh to drive because Josh wasn't about to kill me.
Listen.
You know? And so we had all these agreements. And then when life shifted, things had to shift. Now, I will say this pertaining to that question. I can take it a step further.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a grandmother.
Yeah.
Baby. Them grandkids. That's a different kind of parenting. I'd be like, leave them grandkids alone. Just let them be. Just come on over here. And she'd be like, you would have got us for that.
Yes.
And I'd be like,
yeah.
I got every kind of psychology, every kind of therapy to help her to understand. They don't understand.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the same kind of patience.
No, we didn't. The grandkids hit different.
Ooh,
they hit different.
That's a whole, maybe because you can send them home. I don't know. And shout out to the mothers, the grandmothers who are raising your grandkids.
Yes.
Because that's hard too, because you don't actually get that chance to be like just a grandmother.
Yeah.
Because you have to now be in that parent role. And so it puts you back.
Yeah. So I think when you become a grandmother, you're not responsible for raising them.
The discipline.
Right. So we could just give them everything.
The love.
Yeah.
You could give them that extra.
Yeah. We don't, we, of course, as grandmothers, we teach them things.
Yes, of course.
But you don't really have, go home to your mama and your daddy. They're going to teach you what you need to know. When you come over here, I'm going to spoil you real good.
And send you on home.
And send you on home.
Yeah, or you can spend a couple nights and then,
then
you go home and you can, it's just that grandma.
Yeah.
Something about that grandma.
Yeah.
But, I've run into so many grandparents that are also parenting. And I will say for those grandparents, it's harder because they're with you. And so now you're trying to find a balance for whatever reason of being a parent and still remembering that your grandmother, but it sometimes requires you to carry that discipline role that you didn't really want to have to do.
Yeah.
So it can be harder on them, So I definitely think that's an interesting role. You guys let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Definitely comment. Let us know what you think about that. Any grandmothers raising your grandchildren, let us know how that's different because it probably looks really different for you all than it does for us,
Take advantage of those self-care days.
Yes.
Grandmas.
Grandmas.
So equal love, it just looked different for each child, right?
I would say that.
So for me, they're all my favorite.
Me too.
Yeah, they're all my favorite.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I love one more than the other.
No, definitely
I love you all.
Yes, definitely. We don't love one more than the other.
No, but that love does look different.
It looks different.
Right?
It looks different.
It looks different. It's according to the need for the kid, like you said.
Absolutely.
Some may need a little bit more hugs, right? And one love look like just let me play my video games in my room.
True.
Oh, 17-year-old, your mom loves you.
That part.
Get out of your room.
Probably because they don't want nothing to do with you at that age where they lock their things in the house.
Hey, but he still loves his mama.
Isn't that something how that's an age too, where they get to the point where they're so independent?
Yeah.
Like, I remember as my kids started to get older, it was like, am I going to see you? Will you be home for dinner?
Yeah, and you know what? That's so funny that you say that because that kind of takes us to our next question. Like, as your kid gets older, like, what does that look like being a mom for them?
Yeah.
Right? I know when my kids were little, I would listen. You couldn't tell me nothing because they was greased up from head to toe. Baby,
we was ashy.
They had matching outfits.
We was ashy.
I would never ask you. Listen.
Even I'd be ashy.
Listen, my mama had me and my sib. Listen, we was together, okay? We were, she let us know real quick. You represent me when you walk out that door, and you gonna walk out that door looking like somebody.
True.
Okay.
That Nancy fault. We just didn't always listen. Now listen, don't do my.
Y'all was the kids. We would drive by and be like, They out there playing in that dirt.
The country would come out every now and again. Nancy would tell us to do right by me, but we just would be.
I wish I would. Diane would be like, I get your long lips.
Maybe like, I told them. Choice one is choice one. Well, she I gotta go to work. I gotta get to work. Yes. Sorry, y'all.
So as our kids are growing, right? As your kids get a little bit older, they're a lot more independent. So they don't need you as more, right?
Definitely true. Especially in my case. My kids have mostly moved out.
Yes.
I feel like I have to make an appointment with my bonus kid and his wife. And that brings me joy when I can get them all together. Yeah. My daughter and her husband, busy, kids. And Josh, I think by choice, he just be like, I'm not about to be here with you. Yes. Mama, I'm coming home. Yeah. I'll see you on Sunday,
You know what makes me happy, though? Because so now that my kids are teenagers, how, like, when they were little, I literally would have them matching everything. If the girls had on blue dresses, they didn't like it. If the girls had on blue dresses, she gonna have on a blue shirt. But, last year I asked them.
They didn't like that. Let me just let y'all.
I said, they didn't like it. Just do it for mom. The 13 and the 16-year-old. I'm like, can you just do it for mom? Can you wear these same dresses? They did
not like that.
I think for Mother's Day, I was like,
Mother's Day or Easter?
No, it was Mother's Day. I was like, can we all wear crowns to church on Mother's Day?
But Easter, I think too, one of your pictures, you actually got them to like
wear the same dress. Yeah. I would buy the same. But I can't do that anymore because they're so independent. They have their own personality. I have one that, they have their own personalities, and they don't, even though the little one, she tries to take clothes from the big one. But I think that's normal, right?
That's normal.
When you have I never had a big sister that I could like go in her closet, but I know that my baby girl, she definitely goes in her sister's closet. But
Is that a problem?
It can be.
Y'all let us know if y'all kids do that.
Yeah, and what do you guys do?
Yes, and is it a problem in your household that your siblings, the girls, I think mostly girls do stuff like that. Some boys actually do stuff like that. Sometimes the boys be too funky, They don't be trying to change out the clothes.
I mean,
I have brothers.
They don't,
they hygiene hit a little different than, because, they do sports.
Right, but I know these boys, they will put some cologne on in a minute. Over. Right.
Over some smelly. Yes, they will. Yeah. They'll put some cologne on over some smelly.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
I want to say this, though. I think when the older your kids get, for me, I've noticed that like my prayer life has changed. I've noticed that for me, it's more like my worries has changed, and so have my prayers, right? Yes. Like, because my kids drive, they all have husbands and wives, except Josh. So I have to deal with things like, okay, we have to have conversations about if you're drinking, which I don't condone that.
No.
Don't be driving, who are you hanging with? What does your friends look like? Things like that.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I had to learn, like, I really need to pray more because they're also at the age where I can't control the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not in my home.
Yes.
They're not, 18, 17,
right.
They're 21.
Yeah.
They're legally, I call them a man child. They're man children or women children because they still need you and it never stops.
Yeah.
But I think it changes. Yeah.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that your prayer life changed. One thing that I would pray over my kids, and I still do, but more importantly, like as they were growing up, my prayer would always be, Lord, give them an experience with you personally that they know that even when mom, dad, grandma, aunties, the pastor, youth pastor is not there, you're going to always be there.
Yeah, true.
So there would be times where they would say, oh, this is going on at school or whatever. And I would tell them, okay, pray about it and see God move. Right. So I would challenge them to ask God for themselves. So that way, when he do it, then that builds their faith. So then their situations, because the reality is we're not going to always be around, right? Sure. And they're going to move out, and they're going to build lives for themselves
and make decisions
for themselves, right.
Yes.
So my prayer was always, God, give them an experience with you, like a personal experience that's going to build their faith. So that they know that they can always depend on you, even when we're not around.
True. That's good.
Right?
That's very good.
That was my prayer. It still is my prayer.
Definitely.
For my kids.
So in our takeaway, and my takeaway for you is, remember what you teach your children.
Yes.
I think that's what it had to come down to for me was Johnny and I instilled great values into our children. There was no manual that came with them. We always did the best we could.
Yeah.
These children now are not a generation of you do what I say and not what I do.
Because they're looking at
you. So and it's not the same, know. I think for me, I grew up in a generation where you do what I say and not what I do. I remember my mother saying, I don't care.
Do what I say and don't worry about what I
do. Yeah, something like that. But these children, now that doesn't work. So my takeaway is remember what you teach them.
Yeah.
Remember what you show them. Because now it's not what you say, they're watching. These kids are really watching. They watching you. They watching the internet. They watching somebody else's kids. They watching their friends' kids. Because they have access to so many different people and so many different people's lives that we didn't have.
For that part.
We didn't have.
We didn't have access.
Yeah. Right. So I think it's important. I think also remember your greatest strength when you're parenting. Remember that. Know what you can instill into your children. I definitely want to go back to the village because maybe you're good at this and maybe dad's good at that.
Yeah.
And maybe grandma can talk to them about that.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that really was how my family became after Johnny passed away.
Yeah.
I could talk to Josh about certain things, but it was certain things I would have to call Miss Emma.
Yeah.
And be like, can you talk to Johnny? Can you talk to Josh?
Yeah.
I even remember when Simeon was in school, and I'll say this, he even called Miss Emma to use her as some of his testing. When he's in pharmaceutical school. Come on, go to your man, with your man. So I think we built this village is what I would want to say.
Yeah.
And just remember that. That's my takeaway is they're looking at you.
Right.
They're looking at you. And always, one more last thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget your no. Let your no.
Let your no be no.
Your no and your greatest no. You don't have to say that.
So my takeaway, Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way they should go. When they get old, they will not depart from it. It may look like they are departing, but
it's going to look like
it's in them. It's in them. They coming back. They coming back. I speak that right now.
Oh, they're coming back.
Right?
They're coming back. They're going to look like some stray cats at times, though, just so you know, if you have to ever seen a stray cat. But they're coming back.
Come on, Prodigal Son. Always believe that God is with your children, and no matter what age that they're at, no matter what age they are, God is going to be with your children.
Yeah.
And just believe that what you've put in them, it's in them.
It's in them.
It's going to come out.
Yeah.
You're going to hear them saying something that you told them.
Yeah.
I remember when
or they'll call you.
Yeah.
And tell you, Mom, because my kids are at that age now, where they're calling and they're like, Mom, oh my God. And I play with it a little bit. I'm like, that's you.
Yeah.
You was like that. Don't call me. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Like and share and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Please join us again.
Join us again.
Yes, join us again for our next episode where we talk about paychecks, purpose.
Paychecks and purpose.
How your paycheck meets your purpose. And your passion. Girl.
Yeah, and your passion.
Your passion. Thank you.
To be passionate about something and get a paycheck for it, listen.
We're going to talk about that.
That's true. All right. You guys don't forget, like, share,
and subscribe.
Meet us here next Thursday at 6 p.m.
6 p.m., yes.
And we're going to do this all over again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.